So all of these things, as I said, they are enough, more than enough, to show us that definitely tawbah is very important. And for this reason, the Prophet ﷺ, he used to make tawbah at least in a day 100 times, in some narrations 70 times. Everyone knows who is the Prophet. I mean, if you read this, you have to come back to yourself and think, reflect, and remember there is something which is the real reason why the Prophet ﷺ is making tawbah. And it's a clear indication to us that we have to be careful. The Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave all of his sins. This is fact. The one that he did and the one that he did not do. And the Prophet ﷺ, he knows his position in paradise. Not only this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him additional job in the night, and he said, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to resurrect you on the last day at the best and the highest position that everyone wants to be in that position. Remember the wasila, the position in paradise. The Prophet ﷺ has said, this position can only be with one person. No one can share. This is the highest position that someone can get in paradise. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he prepared this position for one person among his creations. So now, let us not deceive ourselves. Because everyone knows that you have 124,000 prophets and messengers. It has to be one of them. It is just like wasting your time to participate in the competition. So these 124,000, out of them you have 313 messengers. So you have 124,000 prophets based on the authentic hadith, and you have 313 messengers. These are the messengers among them. So that means the prophets also, they have to go out. Who left? The messengers, because they are more profound than the prophets. Among these messengers, you have 5 selected one by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the best. At the top, you find Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No one can go beyond him. Because Ibrahim used to be the best, and Musa used to be the second one. Why Ibrahim is the best? Because of the position Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him, and he said, وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took Ibrahim to be the closest one to him. Khalil is the best friend that knows everything about you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he took Ibrahim to be the closest one among the human beings to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the best also among them. That's why you can see the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is dealing with the story of Ibrahim, the issue of Ibrahim in the Quran is very excellent. He is even talking to us. We are not the ummah of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to us, whoever believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow the way of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Why not Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam? Because the way of Muhammad is the same thing, the way of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, but this is to show respect to Ibrahim even after his death. So Ibrahim used to hold this position of khulla, they call it. And Musa came, he got something strange, which is mashallah. He's so close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in such a way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even talked to him. In such a way Musa understood the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So 2 things. Musa got the talk, Ibrahim got the khulla, and Musa was not Khalil. Ibrahim was Khalil and was not the Kalim. He did not get the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not hear the voice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Musa heard it. But he did not get the friendship like Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave him both. Allahu Akbar. At the best level. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Musa talked to Allah here. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took him to the heavens, above the heavens, to a place the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated me up. Even Jibreel couldn't make it to that place. He told the Prophet ﷺ, you have to go alone. He said, no, I came all the way with you. How come now you're going to leave me? He said, no, you have to know that every angel, not us, he has his own limits. This is the last place I can reach. I go beyond this, something is going to happen. You just don't worry. He said, the Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took me up to the position that I can hear the sounds of the pens. Hence writing the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means the Prophet ﷺ, he went to a place he didn't know even where is this place. But he said, I can hear the sounds of the pen. Allahu Akbar. So, who got this? In this place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Musa talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth. And of course, obviously, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with the issue with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is better than the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with Musa alayhi wasallam. All the way to the heavens, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to you in that place. That shows something. Something which is telling people that this is the greatest human being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ever created. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if I'm going to select someone to be my Khalil, he said, I will select Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He said, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected me to be his Khalil. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selects you to be his Khalil, you cannot take anyone to be your Khalil. And that's why Ibrahim, look at the test, very harsh test. Imagine you lived 100 years, for example, with no child. And then now you have child. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to slaughter the child. Which one is more stronger, the son or the father? Imagine your dad come to you and tell you that I saw a dream, I'm slaughtering you. Ismail was telling Ibrahim, do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you. So what do you think you will say to your dad? Maybe you need to check. So, but both of them, that's why the scholars say, look at this, who is the best among them? Is it the son? I saw a dream, I'm slaughtering you, what do you think? What do you think? So if it is you, you will say, what I think? So, but Ismail said to him, do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do. And he fulfilled the condition. Because when you go with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this way, you have to do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do. And the second test is also strong, to take the best of your family to go and put them in a place where there is no life. And he did. Why? Because he has to prefer the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over everything. So this is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The reason why I brought it is to remind us about something that we already know. That this is the Prophet, and he's like this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we're going to resurrect you. So among these 5 personalities, the best one to get this place is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's why he said, whenever you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me this after the adhan, I promise you my intercession, the shafa'ah. And how many of us are repeating the adhan after the muadhin? And how many of us are remembering the saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you will definitely earn my intercession on the last day? And if you hear the muadhin saying the adhan and no one is repeating after him. And there is a very excellent and great reward. Because you will never know how strong is your need on the last day to have someone who is going to take you free of charge to paradise. Till you go there. And the Prophet ﷺ gave it to you now. Very simple. Just say the salah on the Prophet ﷺ and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him the wasila. He said, I will give you my shafa'ah. So this place is going to be taken by the Prophet ﷺ. So this is the nature of the Prophet ﷺ. But still, why is this intensive istighfar every day? Companions, they say when he sits with us, we can count 70 to 100 times of istighfar the Prophet ﷺ is making. This is to teach the human beings that you will never succeed without making the istighfar. If the Prophet ﷺ, who has no sin, is going to make istighfar 100 times every day, what will happen to you? Someone who is constantly committing sin day and night. So these are enough, as I said, to show us that definitely one of the most important things that every Muslim should do and practice is the istighfar.